Welcome to Comm Naija.
This edition of Tutorial Lecture Series on your channel, Comm Naija. My name is Adesola Patience Adeniyi, and today we'll be talking about 7 techniques of investigative journalism. 7 techniques of investigative journalism, that is, ways, method, or skills that an investigative journalist can actually make use of to get information. Let's begin. Before we go properly into the techniques of investigative journalism, let's refresh our brain on what investigative journalism is simply all about. And in simple terms, investigative journalism simply means being a detective for news, that is, trying to find out or trying to dig out hidden truths about a particular phenomenon. And it can be crime, it can be anything, just trying to find out what is or why people are doing this or what this thing is all about. So that is what investigative journalism simply means. It simply means to trying to find out or trying to uncover hidden truths. The number 1 technique we are looking at is source cultivation, also known as source development, and this serves as basis to any successful investigative journalism. And what does this mean? This simply means trying to build rapport or trying to understand or know the key stakeholders in a particular case that an investigative journalist is working on. So for example, I am an investigative journalist. If I want to investigate a certain politician on probably his travel expense or how he does things, or if I want to just investigate something, I can cultivate my source with one of his staff. You know that the staff is staying in this house. It is like one of his domestic staff, and they're staying together. That person will be in the best position to give me some information about the particular thing that I want to know about. You understand? So source cultivation simply means trying to understand or trying to analyze, trying to find out the key stakeholders or people you know that are in the best position to give you information about a specific case. And in anything, an investigative journalist should try as much as possible to protect their sources in every way they can, so that the source will actually feel good, or even if not feeling good, they will actually be pleased, and they will at all time be ready and be able to give you information, because they know that they trust you, and whatever information they give to you, you can actually make use of it without it bouncing back on them. The next technique we are looking at is interview. And what does interview means? In simple terms, interview simply means meeting people for consultation or for information. And how does an investigative journalist make use of interview? They can simply conduct interview with people affected or people who are involved in a particular case they are working on. So for example, I as an investigative journalist, I want to investigate about an accident that happened or the reason why this accident happened sometimes ago. I can actually visit the victims at the hospital, ask them questions. What happened? What was their experience? Where were they going? Where were they coming from? How did the particular story happen? So you can actually contribute, you can conduct interview with people involved in the particular case that you are working on. And another thing is, interview can be conducted through phone, it can be through email, it can be through face to face. So when you're saying face to face, it means meeting people face to face to ask questions about what you're asking or what you're working on. And if it is email, you send an email and they reply back on email. And if it's through call, you call them and you get information about whatever you're working on. So interview is one of the, I would not say easiest, but it's one of the best ways of actually carrying out an investigation. Another important technique of investigative journalism is surveillance. And surveillance in simple terms simply means going undercover. And when you say you go undercover, going undercover simply means not revealing your identity to people you are dealing with, or not revealing your identity to some certain set of people. So, and we all understand, we all know how dangerous investigative journalism can actually be. So in order to get the best information, the most important information, the most interesting information about a particular case, an investigative journalist can decide to go undercover to get the best. And how do you go undercover? For example, I as an investigative journalist, I want to find out truth about a particular probably a gang, or probably they're into, let me say, selling of hard drugs or selling of illicit drugs. I can actually act like a buyer, I can act like a seller to know how they operate, to know where they operate, to know how they operate, to know who they sell to understand everything. So going undercover simply means not revealing your identity to the public or to the people you are dealing with, so that you can actually get the best. But once they know you are an undercover, you know what it means. Another technique an investigative journalist can make use of in order to get information about a particular case is through following paper trails. And what does this mean? This means following and obtaining and analyzing documents relevant to the case that you're working on. We all know how rigorous, how critical, how interesting investigative journalism is all about, but it actually deals with evidence. So if you're going to investigate me, if you are going to come out and say I did this, you have to come with your evidence. And where can you get this evidence? You can get this evidence by actually following by analyzing documents related to the case you are working on. So an investigative journalist can go through relevant documents. You can get those documents in archives. You can get them in libraries. You can any public any government document you can analyze to check, to compare what is missing and why they are missing. So this can actually serve as an evidence, and once you have your evidence, you are good to go. You are still listening to tutorial lecture series on your channel Comm Naija, and so far we've been talking on the techniques of investigative journalism. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and drop a comment in the comment section. The next technique, which will make it number 6 technique we are looking at today, is digital research technique. And what does this mean? This simply means making use of social media platform to analyze trends and to check what people are saying about a particular topic or a particular person. So for example, I as an investigative journalist, if I want to make use of digital research as a technique for my investigation, I can go online, monitor a particular period to know what people are saying about this person, to know what people are saying about this organization, to know what people are saying about this particular topic. So I can use that to actually gauge, to actually know what people are saying, and to know how to come in. So digital research technique simply means trying to get information using a digital platform, social media platform, to actually get the particular information you are looking about. The last but definitely not the least technique we're looking at today is using Freedom of Information Act. And Freedom of Information Act in Nigeria actually grants access to citizens to have access to government record or government information that are not made known to the public. And you can do this through legal means. You consult legal teams to actually write, though like this can actually take a while though, but it's actually worth the wait. And let's not forget, the primary aim of investigative journalism is to get information that are not made known to the public. And using FOI as a technique, you know you are getting the best, you are getting the most important information without actually leaving anyone out. That will be all for this edition on tutorial lecture series on your channel Comm Naija. And so far we've talked about the techniques of investigative journalism. My name is Adesola Patience Adeniyi. If you have questions, clarifications, or comments, kindly drop the comments in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. See you in the next edition. Bye.